What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I want to give a very casual update on what's going on in the stock market today. We've had some pretty big news catalysts come out for a lot of the stocks in my own portfolio, so I'm going to keep this video very short and unedited because I just want to give you guys an update on what's my reaction to some of the news events we have seen today. So first things first, I'm sure you guys have heard that Walmart today announced that they are outlining a zero emission strategy. And this is no surprise because a few days ago, you guys might have seen my post on YouTube where I posted about a potential Nikola tray fuel cell doing a pilot test with Walmart. Now, I think that specific image was from a EV Expo, so I don't think that was actually the pilot test. But Walmart has said that they're going to be using the tray battery electric from Nikola for a pilot test later on in the summer. Now, this is very exciting because not only is this a great acknowledgement of Nikola's strategy and their first mover advantage, but this is also a pretty big acknowledgement of how corporate companies are starting to really give more focus on their emissions. And if Walmart, which is the company with the largest amount of revenue out of any stock on the stock market in the US, that does around $550 billion in revenue annually, is looking to shift towards zero emissions, then I can bet you that there's going to be other companies as well in the entire retail and corporate space that are going to want to reduce their carbon footprint. And right now, the only options on the market, at least on the trucking side, is Nikola, Freightliner, and maybe other companies like Hyzon and potentially even Hyliion. And so that really kind of sets us apart as investors in Nikola, because we have that first mover edge. And, you know, the difference between a stock like Nikola as compared to any other stock in the market is that, you know, Nikola is a zero emissions company, right? We're helping to solve a bigger picture problem here as a company. And that's why most of my portfolio is weighted towards, you know, these zero emissions and clean energy stocks, because not only do I have, you know, a little bit more exposure and industry knowledge about this specific sector of the market, but there's a bigger picture impact here, and there's going to be a lot of tailwinds for these stocks down the road. Even if the valuations in the short term are expensive, you know, the arguments about having a high price of sales or being pre-revenue and having, you know, a $3 billion market cap, none of that really matters in the bigger picture when we're really trying to reduce carbon emissions. You know, climate change is going to affect all of us. It's not going to be, you know, discriminating against people that are rich, poor, living in, you know, India, living in the US. Everybody's going to be affected by climate change. So, you know, this isn't like, you know, a game here we're playing. We're trying to support the companies that are trying to make a change. And starting with the transportation sector, you know, it's a pretty good start. And I think Nikola is going to be one of those key players. You can see that Nikola recently posted, or we got a nice shot of the Nikola Tray FCEV at that expo with the Walmart logo on the side. And the interesting thing to note is that Nikola is not the one that puts these logos on the side of their trucks. It's the company themselves that they're partnering with, because Nikola can't just go online and print these logos. So I saw a lot of people argue about that. But yeah, this is legit, guys. This isn't a game. As you can see, there's another photo right here, I think. Well, actually, before we get into that, the funny thing is that Nikola actually hasn't posted a press release about this. So this is just coming from Walmart. So you would imagine, you know, if Nikola is really, you know, not busy on their hands and they were just trying to send out a lot of press releases to pump the stock or whatever, that they would, you know, post an update about this on their Twitter and on their website, but they haven't, right? So it shows you that, you know, Nikola is very cautious with how they're announcing their announcements, and it looks like they're busy behind the scenes, and this is a very good thing, right? This isn't a company that's trying to pump their stock or their valuation. This is a company that's getting things done. And even though on the paper it doesn't seem like things are getting done, especially if you look at the stock, but again, that's short term, guys. Okay. Quick side note, guys. I just filmed the video you guys just watched, and some nice news and a tweet just came out from Nikola actually, where we actually see the Tray BEV moving under its own power, guys, which is, you know, very surprising, I guess you could say. In one of their you know, delivery routes, I think in Texas somewhere, Looks like Walmart is expecting these to be in full fleet operation by 2040, which is a very aggressive target for a company like Walmart, guys. Remember, this company operates thousands of ICE trucks on the roads right now in the US at least. And this company does an insane amount of revenue. And so it's great to see a company like Nikola, be up there as one of the first movers in this industry. I think people really are, underestimating the advantage of being a first mover in this industry. Freightliner is actually the other company that Walmart has partnered with for this program with the e-Cascadia. And the funny thing is that the e-Cascadia is not even going into production until the end of the year, right? And so, people were crapping on Nikola for being late to production, in March of this year. Well, that's not even that late. An ICE OEM like Freightliner, which is owned by Mercedes, has not even been able to get their electric truck up and running, even though they probably have more experience than Nikola, right? So it really goes to show you that there's a lot of difficulties bringing an electric zero emissions truck to market in this kind of environment. And Nikola is going to have that edge over other companies like Peterbilt, Volvo, even Tesla, right? Because Nikola is going to get that early penetration into Walmart's ecosystem. And if Walmart is testing these trucks and if they're happy with them, which they probably will be, then other companies are going to be happy with them. And Nikola is going to have the early data on the usage, the duty cycle, all that stuff. And so that's going to play into one of the potential LOI streams for Nikola in 2023, especially as their fuel cell trucks start to come online. And that's kind of my take on the quick tweet that just came out from Nikola just like a few minutes ago. And so before we got back into the video, I just wanted to say that. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest. We're here for the long-term vision. The stock market will stay as irrational as it can be until everybody gets wiped out. And then when everybody gets wiped out and everybody's given up, then that's when the stock market's going to go up. And at the end of the day, this is much bigger than making money. This is a mission of solving zero emissions transportation. Personally, I would love to work for a company like Nikola, but again, I'm going to discuss that in a later video. As you can see, Ed Ludlow, who is one of the chief editors in the EV sector, I don't know if he works for Bloomberg or whatever. He works for Bloomberg. This guy, honestly, kind of, shuns me. I don't really understand this guy. So in 2020, this guy was really crapping on Nikola for, being a fraud or, he was really hitting Nikola's management team and the fact that their products were fake and whatnot. But clearly over the past couple of years, he's had to actually force tweets like this, where he's showing that Nikola is making progress. And it kind of really dismantles his own argument that he's made over the past, 2 years about Nikola. And even in this tweet, he kind of is signaling a little bit of salt. I feel like he's trying to really emphasize that, this is not a binding contract, which we all know it's not because it's a pilot program, right? Especially with a big company like Walmart who's testing multiple products at the same time. It makes sense why this is not a binding purchase. If this was an LOI, this would have actually been announced as an LOI. And that's why Nikola hasn't, announced a press release for this. So I'm completely fine with that. I care about Nikola getting track time, right? Run time. We need these products on the road. I want to see how these trucks fare with different customers, with different duty cycles, with different use cases in different environments. That's what's really going to set this product apart from any other product that comes on the market over the next couple of years, because Nikola's going to have that lead time. It's one of the reasons a business like Tesla succeeded, right? Because they got the mileage in the very early stages when costs were high. Right, margins were low. Margins were even negative for a lot of times for Tesla, right? And it's the same thing with Nikola right now. But as a matter of fact, Nikola is targeting an even bigger opportunity in terms of market size over the next couple of years. So overall, I find this news to be very, very good. And the funny thing is that Walmart is only one of the companies that's doing this, and it's by far the biggest company that's doing this. And not only are they doing electric, but they're also doing hydrogen. And for those that say that hydrogen is not, a viable technology, I think a company like Walmart partnering with Nikola really shows that it is a viable technology for the long term. I think at the end of the day, hydrogen is going to be expensive in the short term, but the only way costs are going to come down is if people adopt it. because the advantages, aside from just, the high costs in the short term, the advantages of hydrogen in the longer term is exponential, right? I'm going to explain this in a video that's coming out in a few weeks, where I talk about the hydrogen stocks I'm buying and why I invest in hydrogen. But hydrogen is a bigger picture theme. It's got a much bigger total addressable market than even a lithium-ion battery technology, right? It's a big ecosystem. And if Walmart is acknowledging it, then the work that Nikola is doing is very, very big. And so I'm very excited about where this partnership is going to go. Again, at the end of the day, carbon emissions are a big deal to these companies. So it's great to see Walmart kind of taking the charge. We're going to start seeing announcements from other retailers as well, folks. This is going to happen. Once we get out of this bear market in the NASDAQ, I can guarantee you that we're going to start seeing more and more companies announce these, because corporate profits and cash levels are still at record levels, guys. People keep forgetting this, but companies are still flushed with cash, and capex are still going to be a main focus for companies over the next couple of years. And that's going to bode well for businesses that are selling to those companies, right? Nikola is a B2B business. It's not a B2C. We're not selling to consumers. We're not affected by interest rates. So because of that, I think, Nikola, from a revenue point of view, is in a good position to secure more contracts and LOIs potentially down the road. Actually, before we end it, let's look at Nikola stock real quick. As you can see, today we didn't have that good of a day, even though the news was amazing, right? And this was actually a press release from Walmart. And in the headline, Walmart didn't even say that Nikola's a partner. Nikola's pilot is discussed much later in the paragraph or in the article. So it's a little bit of a different way of announcing. But as you can see, we kind of tested that 50 moving average. We bounced from that a little bit. But the key level is 750. If we get above 750, we're headed to like $8.30. But again, I wouldn't get too pissed off about this stock not performing too well. It's a short-term headwind. The business fundamentals are ticking up. Every single week, the business fundamentals are ticking up, and the stock is going down. So you're basically getting a great deal here if you believe in the vision of this company for the long term, that is. Yeah, but anyways, guys, that's all I'm going to have for this video. Let me know if you enjoy these kinds of unedited takes. I don't do this that much, but when I see news like this today, I'm pretty excited. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to see what's going to happen. I'm going to catch you guys in the market update video that's going to come out on Friday. We should have CPI data come out that day as well. That's going to be exciting. That's going to be a big catalyst for the market. So make sure you guys are staying tuned for that. And again, make sure to drop a thumbs up on the video if you like this. And let me know down in the comment section below your take on this style of video. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.